So this week we are going to learn about the CSS box model and positioning. We are also going to learn about a responsive format called Flexbox. So you're going to start out with the web-based readings. And so we go through the information on the regular box model and Flexbox, which is responsive, and then styling that is specific to the box model. And then we get into the lecture demo. Basically, it covers, what the heck is a box? So what makes up a box? How do you line them up on a page? And then we do a little review of the display property. And when we create boxes, there's like a hierarchy of boxes. And so there's a parent box. Inside the parent, you might have child boxes. So, what are parent blocks? Okay. And then we get into the two different models, traditional, and then we get into Flexbox eventually, with lots of examples of each, and links to the interactive site that you can go to and try things out. Okay, so I try to give you as many of those interactive links as possible. Also lots and lots of examples. So here is a little demo example, just showing you the what it does when you set the list to no list or no wrap versus wrap. And this is what wrap reverse looks like. And if you want to see the code that I used, you can always right click and view page source. And you can see I kind of set these up with little classes. Here's my little Flex container. These are for the items. And then this is kind of how I set that up. Now, once you finish these, you will get practice with traditional and Flexbox pages. So you are going to start by downloading some files. You're going to have a Lesson6 folder. Inside, you need the media folder and the CSS folder. I'm giving you some starter files and lots of graphics, also some starter CSS. And then we begin with the traditional box. Okay, and so how do you create one of those? And there is a little issue with the traditional box that I do tell you how to fix. So make sure you work through all of this. There are videos on each of these tasks that will show you and explain to you what you're doing. And then we get into Flexbox. Okay? And then absolute positioning. And make sure you're carefully reading here, because the farm file from task 2, you're going to make sure you've saved that. And then you're going to copy it and save the copy as farm Flexbox. Okay. And then you can open that one for editing. And then down here for absolute positioning, you're basically going to, again, copy the farm file, and then you'll rename it to farm position. Okay, so these directions are assuming that you're starting with the farm file and making those changes. And then this basically is going to have you work a little bit with CSS combinators, Flexbox attributes, and some CSS box styling enhancements. And we're going to use song snippets for this. Okay, so as you can see, I tried to highlight the code that you need to change. And again, there's a video. Once you're done with all of this, you're going to transfer it. And then you're going to work on the lab assignment. For the lab assignment, you are going to create your own traditional box page, and you're also going to create a flex box page. And the content, okay, can be the same. So I did an example for you guys to look at. I've given you kind of a skeleton of a program here. And I've got an example for you to look at. This is actually something that I used. And this is traditional box. And so if I adjust the size here, you can see that it's adjusting, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. Okay. And if you right click, you can view the page source. And then what you are going to do is something similar, but obviously it's going to be your own content. The CSS is an external file, so I've actually given you a link to it here. For the flex box, you can have the exact same content. You're just going to have to change your CSS so that it's Flexbox CSS and not the traditional float CSS. So this basically explains what you would need to change then. And here's my Flexbox external CSS file. And then here is my page. So immediately you can tell it looks different. And it's going to look different as I change the size because it's Flexbox. And with Flexbox, you can specify a minimum and a maximum width. So that's why you get these different size boxes. Okay, so you're going to do two different pages. And you're going to link them in to your assignment page. So you're going to have the textbook exercises linked in, and you're going to have the traditional and Flexbox pages linked in. Get everything transferred to the web. And then you're going to put done in both of the drop boxes. In addition, this week, there is an extra credit opportunity for you. And I have put this in quite a few of your lesson blocks. I figured out a way so that you could hide all of the text or display it. So there are two events in February. One is the 21st, which occurs in this week's time frame. This is Industry Night Out at SMI. SMI does hire developers, so this might be a good one to go to. You do need to register, so there's a registration link. And then there's also a link to the flyer. The Dropbox for this is located right here. So if you go to the event, go into the Dropbox, type a little summary of what you thought, what you learned, and submit it, and I will give you 10 points. Okay. Additional resources for this week. I do have the link for tutoring, which is Thursday or Friday on campus. I also have some Flexbox links. This is actually a game that helps you learn Flexbox. So a lot of people think this is fun. Also some other links that make learning Flexbox a little bit easier. If you run into any problems this week, or if you have any questions at all, please let me know and have an awesome week.